What up guys, welcome back to another video journal. Yeah, just wanted to make a video, as you do. Let's get some thoughts across. Thoughts out my mouth, out my head, into existence, into this time capsule. This is what it is really, isn't it? Like, filming myself, filming me saying my thoughts is like a time capsule of where I'm at right now. In the future I look back and be like, whoa, you know. It's very interesting to look at it that way. It's a time capsule. I think everyone should do it. Film themselves talking about what's on their mind. You look back at it and it's really quite interesting and quite helpful, I'd say. I like doing it. It's fun. It's fun to do video journals. And you may not have some grand revelation as you do it, but I think it still is helpful to just get your thoughts out there. Even if you don't put on YouTube or show anyone, it's good to have them for yourself to look back on. Anyway, the challenge that I'm facing at the moment is the decision between doing what I love or figuring out the things that I don't love about myself. So, either focusing on what I love to do, focusing on my strengths. So for instance, just do a whole lot of like filmmaking and music and just doing what brings me joy and excitement, and not feeling shame or guilt for the fact that I've got a lot of aspects of myself that I find difficult to accept, and so I repress. Acknowledging that they're there, but not being overwhelmed by them, and not having to work on them, putting them aside for a while just so I can focus on what I actually love to do. Or there's the other side, which is focusing on these parts of myself that I find hard to acknowledge and accept and that I repress down. Focus on this and trying to understand these sort of shadow aspects of myself in order for me to feel a lot more lighter and more free. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Because I see most people that I see are just doing, focusing on the things that excite them and, whatever. And you can see that they've got a lot of, things that they find hard to accept about them, things that they repress. But they're not so caught up in it, it's not like they're not so defined by it. It's just like, oh yeah, that's the part of myself that's like, that's like the shadow part of myself. But like, you know what I mean? Like, they realize that then they're probably not like, integrated fully, but they don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have that drive or need to sort it out. It's just like, it's there. It's okay that it's there. I'm still going to do the things that I love and not get so bogged down and caught up in my shadows. But, you know, for the past few years, it's been like really like seeing these shadow aspects of myself and being like, you know, something needs to happen here. I need to like sort this shit out because I want to like live to my fullest potential. But you see, what's happened is I've been focusing on that so much, I've been getting bogged down in it and caught up in it, that I've sort of like just disregarded, just pushed away sort of all the things that used to excite me and bring me joy. Like filmmaking and shit, it's just like, no, there's more important things that I've got to do. Like, there are these aspects of myself that I need to acknowledge, and there are actions that I need to take to, you know, I need to start, you know, improving my social anxiety and getting over this, you know, these unhealthy habits. And everyone has them, but it feels like I'm focusing way too much on it. And I don't know if I'm getting anywhere. That's the annoying thing, right? I don't know if I'm getting anywhere with this. Because you do need to take action. And I'm not ready to, you know? It's scary. Facing these aspects of yourself that you find hard to accept. It feels like for the past few years I've just been looking at it and letting it like ruminate. Is that the word? Like, just letting it ruminate and not doing anything about it, which has caused me a lot of guilt and shame. This is what's happened. It's that I've acknowledged these shadow aspects of myself, these big scary things that I find hard to accept about myself. I acknowledge these things, and then I go, oh shit, that's scary, something needs to be done about that. And then I don't do anything about it, and then I acknowledge it, you know, it keeps coming up. I acknowledge it again and again and again and again. And so time goes on, and I keep acknowledging it, but not taking any action. And then I feel shame that I'm not taking any action on being able to do anything about these parts of myself that need healing and recognition and love. And then I'm just trapped in this cycle, it seems, you know. And that's why it feels like I need to, like, because it feels like, you know, I'm not getting it anywhere. So it feels like I need to just, like, let it be. Like realize, yes, I've got parts of myself that I find hard to accept, but fuck it. Like, if I keep focusing on it and not taking any action on it, then I'm just going to be rolling around in my own shame. You know, it's like either I need to choose to look at these things and take the appropriate action, or forget about it, acknowledge that these parts of me are here, but then go on and just, you know, do what brings me the excitement and joy in my life. And saying that kind of like, it's hard, 'cause it's like, because I've been in this cycle for so long of trying to live to my fullest potential and integrate these parts of myself, for me to just, you know, go, okay, you know, abandon that mission, abort mission, and start, you know, just like doing what I love to do, filmmaking, music, whatever it is. It seems like because it's such a habit for me to like, want to acknowledge these parts of myself and integrate it, it seems like I can't even stay focused on just doing what I love, because I am doing filmmaking and music at the moment, as an example, but like rarely. like I do it for a little bit, but then I sort of like acknowledge in myself, like, what am I doing? Like, this is not helping me in any way. Like, this is not like the appropriate action that I need to take to integrate these parts of myself to, do you know what I mean? And then it brings in like it's like, what am I actually going to make films about? What what like artistic videos can I make? Like, what's the whole meaning of the video? What's the story going to be? What's, and it's like, okay, well, what's on my mind in any given moment? What does my life look like? I'll just like show what's on my mind through like a visual artistic thing. But it's just shame and no action, and that's like, I can't show anything. There's like nothing in my life that I'm doing to actually show in my videos. Like, I'm not doing anything. And I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh on myself. Maybe it's like, like, what do people do? I mean, most people do live probably quite mundane lives, They get up and go to work, come back home, watch TV, eat some food, go to sleep. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Some people live more extravagant lives, I'm sure. And I think this is what I'm trying to get, is that I don't want to be living a mundane life where I just eat food, watch TV, and do work. I want to be exploring the world and connecting with people and sharing deep, meaningful things and experiencing life to the fullest, and you know what I mean? And I think this is why I'm getting so caught up in these limiting beliefs that I have, these big sort of like shadow parts of myself that it's hard to accept. And because I realize that I need to get past these things if I want to live a fulfilling life, like a life that's going to be full of deeper meaning and exploration. Because I can just make films and music in my bedroom and call that my work and put it on YouTube and promote it everywhere and earn money from it, and that's sort of like some people's dream, is working from home and actually doing what they love, doing a job that they love, some maybe art, and earning money from that, and working from home. Maybe some people's dreams, and it's a part of a dream for me, but at the same time it's like, what do I actually want out of life? I mean, some days that would be nice, of course sometimes you need to be alone and just relax and do your own thing, but I want to fucking explore the world more, and I want to connect with people, and I want to share deep meaning with people, but I'm scared to. There's a lot of beliefs within me that limit myself and look at doing those things as a big fucking scary thing. Of meeting people, being authentic with people, of sharing my deep meaning with people, of exploring new places, of getting out there and just, getting out into the unknown, and it's scary as fuck. So I'm kind of caught between these two things. Like, do I just, focus on sort of doing my art, doing like heaps of filmmaking and art just on my, playing to my strengths, what I can do, just doing it at home? And, sort of promoting that shit heaps, as much as I can, and getting money from it, Or do I really fucking hone in on these limiting beliefs and these parts of myself that I find scary, and the things that would be fucking sick to do, to, try and break past these limiting beliefs and just go and fucking, go out there and meet new people, explore new places, open up more to people, and just, I don't even know, like, it seems all so muddled up and confusing to me. I don't even know what I'm saying, really. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to just find this, like, purpose in life. There are parts of me that I could open up to a lot more, but I'm afraid to do it on camera because it's being very vulnerable. And like, I open myself up fucking an extraordinary more amount on camera than I do in real life, but there's still so much more of me that I could express. But those are the parts of myself that I'm even afraid to sort of be honest about to myself, even though I can see that in myself, that there are parts that I could express here right now. But it seems to me like if I did express these things, it seems like these things, it's like, well, I need to take action. There's sort of like some specific actions that I feel like I need to take, which I keep pushing under the rug. And I don't know if these actions that I actually do need to take or not, but I feel like what can be the harm in actually doing it and seeing if it was or wasn't. You know what I mean? What can be the harm in just trying something out? And this is the thing, I think, there are some like specific actions that I could take. I'm scared to, because I don't know if it's the right thing or not. So this is what I kind of mean, is that should I spend my time trying to cultivate this sort of like, because it's like to do anything, to face your shadow and to take the action that you think you need to take is kind of like, it feels like first of all you've got to like treat yourself with a lot of fucking love and kindness. Because it kind of feels like sometimes I'm like bullying myself into trying to do something. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, why? Like, you should be doing it, you know, like guilting myself, like shaming myself. Like, there's no difference between me feeling shaming myself, and like guilt tripping somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, there's no difference between that. Between feeling shame for my own character and feeling shame for some other person, for their character. There's no difference there. So it feels like I've got to maybe first just cultivate this sort of loving kindness within myself before going forward with anything else. Because it kind of feels like sure, there are some things that feel like I need to do, some actions that I need to take to be more integral. But it feels like I'm not ready to face that yet, you know? It's like it's too scary for me to face, and it feels like if I did take some actions to face it, it feels like it'd be too overwhelming and it potentially could do more harm than good. And this is why I don't do it, you know? And so this is why I think maybe cultivating this love and kindness for myself, and just like, you know, loving where I'm at, loving this part of myself that is afraid to face these other parts of myself that, you know, and then, you know, because it feels like once you do that, then it actually allows you to open up to these other parts of yourself. Once you can, you know, put enough awareness and love onto some specific part of yourself, then it's sort of like that's the cure in itself, and then you open up and just like intuitively and naturally, you know, that's just the progression, you know? Because it seems like I'm trying to force shit. It's like I'm trying to force change. I'm trying to force myself to integrate these other parts of myself because I feel like I really fucking need to. But maybe it's just I have to love myself to death. Just I have to love myself. Love these parts of myself. Love the fact that I can't accept. And then once that happens, it feels like, I'll love that part of myself that I can't accept, that in turn I'll accept because I love it. And to love it does not mean to condone the behavior or agree with it. It just means to understand where it's at, why it is the way it is. Putting all your awareness onto it and realizing what it truly is and why it's doing the thing that it's doing, understanding where it came from and what its purpose is. That's all it is, I think weed definitely opened me up to my shadow. I think this is really what happened, is the more I smoked weed, the more I realized these parts of myself that I repress and find hard to accept. And so more and more I realized that I've got to, something's got to be done about this. I need to integrate these parts of myself. I need to, do something about this. And it's like been like that for a few years, I think, just like me trying to be on this mission of healing, of trying to integrate these parts of myself, trying to, and I think, to a certain degree, it seems like to a certain degree, it seems like something positive has come of it, but at the same time, it feels like I've gotten worse. It feels like I've just harmed myself with focusing all my attention on these like big fucking scary aspects of myself, and I've just harmed myself by doing so. But then there's the other end of it, where it's like maybe I needed to feel it to heal it. Maybe it needs to get worse before it gets better. Maybe this is the natural progression of healing. Maybe by looking at it and feeling the pain that it shows me, maybe that in itself is part of the healing journey. Because I am acknowledging it, I am looking at these parts of myself that are hard to look at, and that causes me a lot of like pain and fear and guilt. And maybe that's natural. Maybe that's the natural progression that it is taking. Maybe that's the first step of integrating it and healing it. But it's like sort of at the point now where I don't know, like maybe I just need to give myself a bit of a break or something. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. I don't fucking know where I am in this journey of life. It's really confusing to me. So there's a part of me that kind of thinks like, I think to help this, maybe if I stop smoking weed, then this may be able to help. Because here's the thing, I smoke weed and it shows me all these parts of myself that are hard to accept, and I feel a lot of fear and a lot of guilt and just a lot of fear in general. And it shows me where I'm being dishonest. It shows me me more truthfully. And it shows, where I'm not doing the things that I could be doing to help myself. It shows me the old habits that are not helping me, and it shows me some new habits that would be beneficial to me. Except I realize that I'm not ready for it yet, It's like I'm like it puts me in a lot of fear, and I can't take any action, And I need to. Because this is the thing, is that it shows me where I need to take action in my life, yet I don't take action. And so to keep smoking weed again and again is kind of like, what's the point? Because it just kind of shows me the same thing over and over again of where I need to take action. So I'm thinking, maybe because what happens is when I smoke weed, it puts me in this fear, and then it sort of debilitates me and cripples me to the point where I can't take any action. So I'm thinking maybe if I stop smoking weed, then it will give me a break to sort of, cultivate this loving kindness within myself as a sort of self-protector, sort of protect myself with love. And then, I don't know. It's kind of like that quote by Alan Watts. Like, once you get the message, hang up the phone. It's like weed is a magnificent drug. It's beautiful. And that's why I smoke it too much. I smoke it a whole lot less than I used to because of the fact that it fucking freaks me out too much. But yet, there's still times where I binge it. Still times where I just get into this addictive routine. Nevertheless, I do smoke it a lot less. However, it's a good drug because it shows you more honestly where you're at, and it stops you from deceiving yourself so much, in one sense, and it just opens you up to truth. So to smoke it once, if you had weed once or twice a year, that would be really beneficial. Because it just gets you in touch with nature, gets you in touch with who you are, there's a lot of benefits to it, but there's an equal amount of destructiveness to it as well. And that's definitely when you can use it too much. That's why it's addictive, because you have this you haven't smoked it for so long, and then you have a joint, and it's this is amazing, all these things that I'm opening up to, all these things I'm figuring out in my head, I'm more open to all these things, fucking hell, man, this is how I should be, every day, And so you start smoking it every day, but then it's kind of weed is kind of like, what are you doing, man? Like, you don't need me anymore. Hang up the phone. Do the work. You know? So you've got the message. You know what you need to do. You don't need to keep using. So this is the thing. The thing is that weed can show you all this shit that you can do, but then you've got to actually do it. You've got to actually take the action to do it. And this is the hardest part. This is why it's addictive. Because you want more and more understanding. You want to know more and more without integrating and taking action on the things that you've previously learned. This is where the real work comes in, but it's fucking scary, and I don't know how, to overcome this fear. Anyway, I don't know what else much to say. Kind of done. Anyway, this is another video for the whole journal and journey. Yep.